The White Sox versus Twins series is presented by Explore Minnesota Tourism. And we are coming to you from Guaranteed Rate Field where this afternoon NBC Sports Chicago presents White Sox baseball. It's Ricky Renteria and your Chicago White Sox as they get set to butt heads with Paul Molitor and his tough Minnesota Twins. Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson. Steve Stone will not be here this afternoon, and joining me, as you can see, is a fellow you're very familiar with. In fact, he was my partner for 10 years in the Wayback Machine, and that's the Wimperoo Tom Perpetuating. Wimpy, welcome, buddy.
Oh, thanks, Hawk. It's great to be here. It's a great weekend in Chicago.
Well, I've been watching the games, and I'll tell you what, you follow us all the time. I know that from down in Atlanta. This has got to be exciting for you like it is for me, knowing what we have down below and watching these kids try to grow.
Well, the farm system is second to none. I know Atlanta has a very good one, too. But, you know, there are some really good young players here right now. But right now, there probably isn't just enough of them for them to be contenders. So hopefully, with James Shields on the mound, that leadership that he brings the team, somehow he will have a strong effect on the young pitchers as well.
Well, there'll be a couple of right-handers out on that bump this afternoon. Gibson against Shields, and this is the finale of this four-game set. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. And coming up next, Wimpy and I take a trip down memory lane and take you back to some great moments on our broadcast of White Sox baseball.
Welcome to beautiful Comiskey Park. I'm Ken Harrelson along with Tom Perpetuating as the Sox get ready to conclude this three-game set. But a lot more than that, Wimperoo.
It will be kind of a monumental type moment for you, but really hasn't sunk in yet. We're just going to have to deal with this ball game. It's a perfect afternoon for baseball.
This indeed could be the renaissance of White Sox baseball, and certainly from what we've seen with the new kids out here, the very young Frank Thomases and the Sammy Sosas and the Alex Fernandez and on and on and on about everything. This has been an overachieving ball club, but one of the things about it, nobody really has had a career year.
No, that's really the truth. Outside of Bobby Thigpen, of course, and his 56 saves are just incredible. That record may never be broken in Major League history. The Sox have just played remarkably well.
I walked down on the field today, Hawk. I was just in awe. I could not believe how nice this facility was, how great it is for the players, how great it is for the media. It is just the place to watch baseball in all the world.
I'll tell you one thing.
Let's get something going. That's only a size 8 hat.
Look at this gourd.
I just hate to ruin this nice blue font I had working for me.
An hour of, maybe tonight, 2 hours of White Sox baseball. Wimpy, first of all, it's great to see you. You look in terrific shape, big guy.
Well, thank you, Hawk. You look great yourself.
Well,
Somebody made an error.
But I'll tell you, I would just love to be in that kind of shape when I'm 67.
Well, I could go along with you there, Hawk. I certainly wish that we look half as good if we live as long as Minnie Minoso. I think that would be a great tribute to ourselves. We're taking target practice. Help.
And it is. It's going to be a day of nostalgia, a little melancholy type of scenario here for a while. But, well, we'll talk about that more during the ball.
And we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this. And coming up next, Wimpy and I have the call as our Sox take on the Minnesota Twins right here on NBC Sports Chicago.
Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. By Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. And by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Miller Lite, hold true.
All right, your Sox are taking the field. And right now, let's check out the Twins Webb Auto Group starting lineup. Here you see, this is what Paul Molitor is going to run out there against James Shields today, leading off the DH Joe Mauer. It'll be Brian Dozier, then Max Kepler, good-looking young left-handed hitter. And we'll talk about this young man a little bit later, hitting cleanup for this ball club, Eduardo Escobar. Eddie Rosario in left field, Grossman in right, Logan Morrison at first base, Adrianza at short, and Bobby Wilson doing the catching.
The defensive setup for the White Sox is presented by UI Health. The outfielders of Nicky Delmonico, Adam Engel, and Leury Garcia. Around the horn, it's Sanchez, Anderson, Rondon, and Abreu. Behind the plate is Omar Narvaez and James Shields, big game James, on the mound for the Sox. 1-3 record with a 5.35 earned run average, although his last outing against St. Louis was very, very good. So hopefully he'll do the same thing this afternoon against the Minnesota team who has been piling on the runs in the last 2 games of this series. Sox winning the first game. Our umpires for today are friends in blue are Chad Whitson at home plate. Gary Cederstrom is the crew chief at first base. Corey Blazer at second. And Stu Shoewater is the third base umpire. So James Shields concluding his warm-up pitches. So it's a pleasure for me one more time to introduce to you the Hawkaroo.
All right, Wimpy, thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a beautiful day of baseball here in the beautiful city of Chicago. Joe Mauer, venerable veteran, will lead it off. Joe hitting at 300, a homer. He's driven in 8.
What do you think of this move, him, Mauer leading off?
I love it. As you know, I've always been an advocate of loading up the top end of your lineup, give them a chance to have one more at bat.
That's true, yeah.
And more managers are finally starting to do that.
Yeah, that number 1 and 2 hole in the batting order is becoming more and more important every year.
Well, you know, Wimpy, it's like doing the math, right? And you're terrific at math.
No.
And by the way, that little bouffant that you had in that one shot opening up, you look like Bobby Darin and Rondell's. Man, you take a whole can of hairspray.
That was awful, wasn't it? Yeah.
But Mauer, no, the 2 hole is to me one of the most important holes or spots in the lineup. You got to have somebody that understands what it takes to be a 2 hole hitter. You got to have somebody who's not afraid to take a strike. It's a 2 hole spot, especially if you got a guy who can run leading off, as there's a strike. But that can set up a whole thing, and you give your best hitters a chance to get one more at bat in that ball game.
Well, I look back on the '83 White Sox teams when we really took off with Carlton Fisk becoming the number 2 hitter. Now, he wasn't that pesky guy. You weren't asking him to take that much, but he was an excellent number 2 guy.
Well, he understood the responsibilities of it. There's a soft ground ball, so Mauer is gone. No, it's becoming a situation, as I said. Every manager, after I played for 4 or 5 years and became a little established, every manager that I ever played for, I had to talk to him about that. I talked to him. I said, why don't you put your best, 3 hitters or 4 hitters, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then whatever you get from the bottom is just, it's just a bonus. It's just that simple.
I could never understand why Barry Bonds was hitting 5th for so many years.
Me either.
I mean, he was losing an at bat almost every night.
Well, you figure it out over the course of the season. He lost a lot of at bats.
Yeah.
Big gap out there in right center for Dozier, who is a real good first ball, fastball hitter. And he's a high ball hitter. I've heard you and Jason for the last few games, and I'll tell you what, sounded great. Jason really is going to be just a terrific announcer.
I think so too, yeah. He's great.
And you brought up some really good points, just like Billy Melton in the pregame show brought up some good points about why our guys are throwing a lot of home runs, and it's simply because of the fact they're down in the count. They're just trying to throw a strike. They throw it down the middle of the plate, and the first thing you know, you can put it on the board.
You can't pitch. As we just say, the most important pitch you have is strike 1. But if you try and hit a gnat in the behind on every pitch, now you're going to set up the 2-0, 3-1 situation that's going to be all night long, and that's just perfect for the hitter.
Well, he gone. 2 down. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think guys like, as you've heard me say it, the best 4 hitters in the last 50 years come in the American League, right-handed hitters, and not in order, but Pujols, who just got his 3,000 hit.
Right.
Miguel Cabrera, Manny Ramirez, and Frank Thomas. Now, you and I were not 2-0, 3-1 hitters. They didn't want to go 2-0, 3-1 on us. Those guys were always 2-0, 3-1, 3-2.
Yeah.
Now, who's going to hit the most? They are.
You think they were more afraid of them than us? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Here's Kepler. 279, 4 homers, 11 driven in, and he is not swinging the bat the way he can. This guy is dangerous.
Yeah, he looks like he really does. I think perfectly said is he looks dangerous at the plate. Looks like he can leave at any time.
High pop up left side. And that'll retire the side. So a nice quick inning there for Shields. And after half inning of play, it's their guys nothing and the good guys coming to bat. Webb Auto Group. There you see Garcia, Sanchez, Abreu, the top three. Middle three of Delmonico, Davidson, Narvaez, and the bottom three of Rondon. Just called up Anderson and Adamingo.
The defensive setup for the Twins, presented by UI Health. Rosario, Kepler, and Grossman in the outfield. The infielders are Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, and Morrison. Bobby Wilson behind the plate just called up, and Kyle Gibson, the big 6'6" right-hander, on the bump.
Leary into left field, so one pitch, one out.
Well, Gibson's having a pretty good year in 6 starts. 3.38 earned run average is very respectable, averaging over a strikeout an inning and a walk every other inning. Of course, Lance Lindhawk came into that game last night with a walk every inning.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Didn't walk anybody in 6.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Yeah, Gibson, like most major league pitchers, you know, when these hittings come even close to hitting the spots, you get your hands full. It's when they fall behind in that count and they got to throw the strike when they get killed.
But one thing I really noticed in the first 3 games, though, is the fact that these Minnesota pitchers are pitching up at the top of the strike zone and just above it, and they've had a lot of success with that.
Well, that's one thing that today, to this day, there are a lot of teams that don't believe in that. And I'll tell you, they don't understand. Some of them don't understand. It's a lot easier to cover in and out than it is up and down from a hitting standpoint. You can show me a guy, it's an old saying, show me a guy who knows how to pitch up and I'll show you a winner.
Right. And down with if he has a 12-6 curveball, that makes him even better.
Well, then you're 0 for 4.
Well, no doubt.
That's high into right field. So 2 down. And right now, let's check out our picks to click. There you see Tim Anderson. Fans took him. Cruz going with Adamingo. Wimpy's going with Leary. And J.J. Shearer. And I and all the good folks at Lost Dunes. We're going to go with Yolmer Sanchez.
How come you already have 3 and none of us have any?
Well, I've only done 3 games.
So I tell you before. All right, that's fair.
Ate him up. And that'll do it. A quick 1, 2, 3 inning for Gibson after 1, no score.
Look forward to the whole true moment later in today's ball game.
No score, top of the second, and here's Escobar, the cleanup hitter. And you said something in the game yesterday that was so true. We've known Eduardo, who was one of our favorites for a long time over here. And when they traded him, it broke a lot of hearts. And I got to admit, first of all, because he's such a wonderful teammate, wonderful person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you could see that he had a nice upside. But to be hitting cleanup in a major league lineup, you would never suspect it.
Well, he's got the power element,
sure
too.
He does now.
21 homers last year.
Sure, now he does. But you know yourself, Wimpy, as big and as strong as you were not what you would consider a home run hitter.
Nope.
Now, you could have been, if you wanted to hit for a lower average, you could have hit a lot more home runs because you could hit the ball as far as anybody. But, you know, there are guys like that. You take a, you know, they just don't want to hit home runs. They want to hit for the high average, like Joe Mauer. If Joe wanted to, you know, he's a big man, 6'5",
oh, he is.
230, can hit the ball a ton, but he just wanted to hit for average.
Oh, Wade Boggs.
Wade Boggs is a poster child for that.
Yeah.
Wade Boggs had hit it in batting practice. He could hit as far as Ichiro could hit it as far as anybody.
There's another good one, yeah. Yep.
It was amazing how far Ichiro could hit the ball in batting practice. At Safeco Field, he had knocked those windows down almost. BP.
Yeah.
No, I'm so happy for Eduardo. You get guys like that. Boy, they're irreplaceable. We got one in Yolmer Sanchez.
Yep. Almost the same guy, really.
Yeah.
I don't think Yolmer has quite the power that Eduardo does, but that might come with a little bit of time too.
Power that Escobar has.
This guy's got some power. This Rosario.
Okay, hit a long way. All right. So here's Grossman. Bobby Grossman, switch hitter. Takes a little high. Yeah, but today you got so many more good low ball hitters than there were 30 or 40, 50 years ago. About my time frame, almost everybody was a good high fastball.
That's right,
hitter.
yeah.
And that was because of the umpires with the balloon. When they went back to the chest protector, so to speak, inside protector, that strike zone drastically came down. And everybody became a great low ball hitter. You take Mark McGwire, his rookie year, he had 49 home runs. And most of them, I'll guarantee you, probably 80% of them were from the thigh down.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. It seems to me like guys are so big. They have this upper body strength that it's a little bit harder to get to that high fastball.
Well, you talked about it the last 2 games. Guys have gotten away from keeping, instead of worrying about a swing angle or swing plane, just keep the backside up. Keep your back shoulder up. You have some guys, you know, a lot of guys in Cooperstown kept that back shoulder up.
Number 44 for Atlanta. How about Henry?
Bad Henry. There's a strike.
Well, the Big Hurt did it too. And we talked about that little scissors kick. That back foot was completely off the ground.
That's right.
When they finished their swing, which would tell you you cannot drop your back shoulder when that foot is off the ground. There's no way you can do it.
Can't do it. That's high. Another easy 1-2-3 inning for James. Nicky's got it. And we'll go to the bottom of the second. Scoreless.
Only the Chicago White Sox into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1.
So here is Nicky. Here are the numbers on him. I like this guy. You know, one of the reasons I like him. He plays with a bit of an edge. I like guys that play with that edge.
He really plays hard. All these kids.
All our guys play hard.
Yeah,
Ricky's boys don't quit.
Yeah. Good curveball.
And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Kraus Cable in Manhattan, Illinois. Manhattan, yes. They got my money.
I was just going to ask you.
No, you won't.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it.
The Big Hurt was he was a poster child for that. Boy, when he played with an edge, you couldn't get him out.
Lordy.
You could not get him out.
You know the amazing thing about Hurt, especially in his early years, Hawk, he'd hit that #1 and #2 guy in your rotation. He'd wear them out. Nobody else could hit him, but he would.
Tell you, for the first 7 years he played in the league, he was probably the best right-handed hitter I ever saw. Now, over the course of time, and I haven't seen him that much, but as he's busting it. Meanwhile, one out. But those 4 guys that I mentioned last inning, Pujols, Cabrera, Manny, and Hurt, those guys are all smart hitters. You don't hit the way they hit. And I tell you, to me, Cabrera, if his ankles, if he was healthy his whole career, he may have turned out to be the best hitter we've ever seen. That's how good he is, how smart he was. To this day, right now, he's the smartest hitter in the American League. He's one of the few guys, if maybe not the only guy, that I can name in this league that would set pitchers up. That used, when you and I played, that was pretty common.
Yeah.
Trying to set a guy up.
I remember watching Cabrera take batting practice. He would hit everything to right field to start, and actually just pulled maybe 1 or 2 balls at the end of the session just to make sure his head was staying in the right spot.
You know, if you ever see a guy do that and you've never seen him before, you know you're looking at a guy that knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fun to watch take batting practice. You know, McGuire would, you know, you watch him put on an unbelievable power show, but Cabrera would start from the right field line and work his way over. It's amazing to watch.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Matt. This guy at the plate. What an upside he's got. I told him last year at the end of the season, I said, Matt, I said, you might not realize it now, but I said, you have the ability to one day hit 50 home runs.
Wow.
But there's the old equalizer. 2 down. And a reminder, your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. You can put it on the board with a perfect mortgage from Guaranteed Rate. Experience the difference at rate.com. Here's Narvaez, Omar. That's Castillo. Missing a few days, Wellington. I like the way they framed that. First time I've ever seen a manager frame it in that way about why he was sitting out is because he got hit with a foul tip in a personal area.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that before?
Rosario did it to himself last night, remember?
I've never heard personal area
not fun.
used in framing that foul tip. Little chopper. Cannot make the play, so that'll be a base hit.
But you got to know who's. They're going to call that an easy. You got to know who's running. Adrianza kind of rushed that right there, cutting in front where he had a little bit more time with Narvaez, who does not run well.
Well, they just called him up, so you're right. You're right on the money. You got to know who's running. So here's Jose Rondon. Takes first pitch strike.
He had about an 11 or 12 pitch at bat last night. He finally lined out to the third baseman in a pitch hitting role against Phil Hughes.
That's low, Jose. "24 years old, out of Villa de Cura in Venezuela." Boy, I tell you what, I love Venezuela. I played there 3 years and won a ball, and it's a shame what's going on down there.
Yeah, it's amazing. And
it's just an
awful.
absolute shame. What a beautiful, wonderful country that is. Great people.
No!
Safe!
Woo! Good hustle.
Yes, it is.
You don't have to be fast to be a good base runner. And Narvaez right there absolutely got a good jump on contact right there. And he's digging. Adrianza tries to flip it to Dozier, but he is late. And he gets himself, actually got his teammate a base hit.
They gave Narvaez an error?
Yeah.
Man.
Tim Anderson had 3 great at-bats his last 3 appearances last night. I'll get that double off the wall in right center field, which kind of set the stage for keeping that head in. Then he hit the 2 homers on inside fastballs his last 2 times up. Get in there. Oh, man.
That's a hang Wolfham. And that'll retire the side. So we'll go to the third. No score.
Of course she is. Nominate her today at NBCSportsChicago.com/MVPMom for the chance to win 4 tickets to the Crosstown game this Mother's Day, presented by Hyundai. Or is it Hyundai?
Hyundai.
Thank you.
Yeah, my buddy David Novak and his family here today. Maybe with Poogie Hyundai. Logan Morrison's dangerous. That's something that, as we talked about earlier, something that a lot of clubs don't really teach that much. And that's in the center field. Ooh. That's a piece of cake, really. Brad.
Yeah, Engel can really cut that distance in half, can he?
Yeah.
That ball was hit very hard into the gap. Adam right there on getting a good jump, reading that right off the bat.
That's what the great Ted Williams said. Said, Hawk, you get a chance to be a pretty good hitter one day, but you got to understand a few things. And one of the things that he told me some very profound things, is that you don't want to try to get yourself ready to hit Major League pitching. You want to get yourself to be dangerous against Major League pitching. And there's a huge difference in the philosophy of that. And then the quote approach. You show me a club that's dangerous with a lot of guys in there, 5 or 6 guys that are dangerous. I'll show you pretty good.
Yeah, that's a great point. Regardless of what that average might say and what they're doing, and you've said it so often, it's not what you hit, but when you do it.
That's right.
And when you're dangerous in those 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, or in the run-producing sections of the game, that's when it's really good. Good pitch.
Adrian's is gone.
Nice changeup here by Big Game James. Got him way out in front. Look at the late movement. Whew, he gone.
That's nasty. That's going to get a lot of them. Adrianza. That's where you go back to that dugout, grab some bench, and tip your cap. So here's Bobby Wilson, catcher. Hit him on the fist, pops him up. And would you believe that is 9 up, 9 down for Big Game James.
Take a look at the White Sox Farm Report presented by Guaranteed Rate. Let's go to Birmingham, Alabama. Eloy Jimenez, during a 9-game hitting streak, is 16 for 42. That's good. 381. 3 homers, 12 runs batted in, slugging a ton, and multiple hit games are 6. So he's one of the stars, one of the good young players we're going to look forward to seeing here shortly. Huh, Hawk?
Wimpy, I talked to 2 different scouts who've seen it. Both of them said exactly the same thing. I said, tell me about Eloy Jimenez. In these 2 separate meetings, they both said, Hawk, there's a shot. Adam down into the corner. As he's going to have to pull it up at second with a leadoff double.
Well, he didn't waste any time. He got a pitch, well, down in pretty much middle of the plate, and he just crushes it. Boy, he waited just long enough, cleared that front side nicely, and a nice double there by Adam.
Well, especially for guys who've been struggling. Sometimes that first ball fastball is the one to hit.
You better.
But both these scouts said exactly the same thing. Almost verbatim. They said this guy might be the best talent in all of baseball right now.
Wow.
I said, wait a minute. One of them's been scouting. Get it. Okay. One of them's been scouting for like 30 years. The other about probably 18 to 20. Both of them know what they're doing. I said, you know, there's some pretty good talent out there. I said, you know, you got some Bryce Harpers and Mike Trouts and guys like that.
Yeah.
They said he might be the best talent in all of baseball.
Oh,
he didn't say player, he said talent.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's going to be fun to watch.
I love
Nice. Great job.
Get on that board as quick as you can and give yourself a chance to.
Get an easy RBI. Perfectly positioned right there. Have to make the play at first. That's the only shot they had. Boy, he didn't rush it either. He took his time. And so a fast guy at third base, and the Twins are going to play the infield in.
So the infield in is here's Yolmer. Now Dave Ross is going to do some checking for us, but again, it's a do the math statement. As the outfield slightly too.
Oh, good stop by Bobby Wilson.
Did that get him? No. 65% of the time, the team that scores first wins the game. If you're at home and you score first, it's 69% of the time. So do the math.
Yep. Carry the 3, -5.
Sorry, I lost my head there for a second.
Is that long division?
1-1 to count to Yolmer.
Well, you're talking about the Jimenez guys, Hawk. You might get an argument from the Braves on this Acuna, who was just called up.
I've been reading about him.
Well, you know, I've seen him play about 5 games now, and you know who he reminds me of? Vlad Guerrero.
No.
Oh yeah, a smaller version of Vlad, but he's got the same type action, same swing pattern, and he just really reminds me of him.
Boy, greatest first ball fastball hitter I ever saw.
Lordy.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah, he had a strike zone from his head to his toes.
To the tip of his toes.
Yeah, kind of like Kirby.
That's right. Yogi. One out, 1-1 to count. One of my favorite players right there at the plate, Yolmer Sanchez.
You got to like this hitting situation. The count's in your favor. You got that infield in. You hit something hard, you got to get yourself an RBI and a hit.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think after watching them play for, since they've been in the big leagues, a better way to put it, there's not a smarter player on our team than Yolmer Sanchez. He's probably the smartest guy on the team, smartest baseball acumen.
Well, he's choked up right now a bit, and he's going to no stride it here. He doesn't take a big stride anyway.
Yanks the foul. This is where, if you can, you got to get yourself in a position where you just don't turn the head of the bat over.
I remember Charlie Ollie used to say in this situation, you got to think left center to right center in that gap. Try and stay close and hit something in the air. Ooh.
Got him upstairs. Chased a bad one. 2 down. That's what Wimpy was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Guys not being able to lay off that high fastball.
Boy, and they've been doing that a lot this entire series, to a lot of success too by the Minnesota. The entire staff has been pitching up. Well, here's your best hitter. He's got to pick up the team right here.
He grounded out to third. Abreu. Well, this is where you're going to see a lot of guys, especially get on top of the count. They're just going to bust him inside.
Yeah.
And if they get ahead, they're going to slow low.
Yeah, they've been throwing a lot of inside fastballs this series. Looks like the Twins have got a pretty good scouting report on everybody.
Twins, year in and year out, have been a terrific organization. I know when I first started playing, probably you know, the Yankees have always been there because they're the New York Yankees, greatest franchise in all of sports. But the team everybody really admired at that particular time were the Los Angeles Dodgers. Everybody looked up to them, the way they played the game.
Yeah.
You know, they were smart.
Small ball, yeah.
And like you, when you were in the minor leagues, you probably played on maybe the greatest minor league team there ever was.
Yeah.
And you guys, all those guys that got to the big leagues, which all did, knew how to play the game.
You know, that's very true. And I think it's because, too, Hawk, you know, with the Dodgers back then, you pretty much had to put in 5 years in the minor leagues before you were ready to get a role on the team. There were some exceptions, of course, the Buckners and the Garveys, of course. But that's very true, and everybody really did. They were really prepared.
And then after that went on for a decade or so, the next team to come into that position, so to speak, as far as regard by all the players, was the Baltimore Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
When they got to the big leagues, they knew how to play. But there again, they had their guys in the minor leagues for quite a while.
Yep.
Two-two pitch once again. Oh yeah!
Come on,
we'll take it. What did Aurelio Rodriguez used to say?
We take that one. That would be ruled a wild pitch. We'll take another look at that one. The bad move there by Bobby Wilson. He tried to backhand that one instead of getting his body in front of it. Through the wickets, through the 5-hole.
Yep.
And we take that one, yeah.
Oh, what's getting that man over the third base does for you. Got in on him again, so they're living inside.
Now, how do you deal with that, Hawk? Say, if we're going to pitch you inside, 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 what adjustment would you think about making?
I'd move closer to the plate.
Closer to the plate. Interesting.
I'd stand right on top of it. Just right on top of it. My first 4 years, I stunk. I was in the same place in the box all the time, against everybody.
Yeah.
Then when they got me, Ted Williams and Joe Cotton got me, it gets him on the breaking ball. But we get a gift, and we'll take it, and it's 1-0 good guys. Play catch in the outfield. You can warm up in the bullpens, visit the dugouts, and much, much more. Take your experience to the next level and purchase a premier ticket that includes hitting in the batting cages. So join us for Family Field Day on Saturday, May 12th, and support Chicago White Sox charities. And of course, is headed up Christine O'Reilly Reardon.
Gets
Our
lovelier
queen.
every day, right? Doesn't
Is she a phenomenon?
Yeah. How many years has she
She's been here for 33 years, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 34.
That's what
and
we're
I'm telling you what, to this day, she amazes me. She looks almost exactly like she did 33 years ago, 34 years ago.
I know. Back
Just
in the
a
80s.
lovely, lovely lady.
Yeah. White Sox people stick around, don't they?
That's why it's a great organization. Oh, look at the pick by Rondon. Yes.
Wow. Well, that's a thing of beauty. Hang with him for Joe Mauer. That was a really tough hop. Overspin, the dive, glove in the right spot. Man, that's good. Let's see how he went. His glove went from the bottom down. I mean, excuse me, from the ground up to catch that play. Brilliant.
That was a major league play right there. Young man from San Diego. But Dave Ross just told me that Christine has been in this organization for 36 years.
Wow.
That's what Reinsdorf has done here. There's a breaking ball strike to Dozier. Yeah, that's for me, as you know, you've heard me say it hundreds of times. That's the first rule in baseball if you're going to win at the major league level is catch the ball. There's a shot. Hang with him. 2 down.
Well, this is self-defense right here, isn't it? That is just a. He's playing in even with the bag, and you see there's some ups right there. Making sure you got it. Mr. Sanchez. He's always got that smile on his face, doesn't he?
Well, he's the life of that clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
What he did the other night was when Trace hit that walk-off. I've never seen that done. That was awesome. You ever seen it?
Never.
Me either.
That was really as good, big a highlight as the home run for me.
It got more. It got more pub.
Oh, man, that was amazing. And he didn't do it to cause, to bring attention to himself. He was just so happy he just did it. That thing could not have been planned.
Breaking ball, no. So the count 1-2. Sort of shanks that one out of play left side.
Well, these shifts are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just amazing. It took everybody this long to start doing it.
Yeah. Well, the hitter is going to continue to pull the ball, which, on the ground, roll over. I guess you'd have to put everybody on the right side.
Well, Whitey Herzog was really the first guy that I saw make these shifts. And he even went further.
Nice.
He gone. So a couple of really good plays. 1, 2, 3 inning. That's 12 in a row retired by Shields, and he leads it 1-0. to the park for $1 Vienna beef hot dogs every Wednesday home game of the season. Take advantage of this unbeatable deal on Wednesday, May 9th, as our Sox take on the Pittsburgh Pirates of Clint Hurdle at 1:10. So get your tickets at whitesox.com today. That's a fair ball, he says. Over the bag. So one pitch went out as Nicky is retired. That'll bring up Matt. He struck out. Gibson made some good pitches on him. Threw a lot of fastballs that he just did not get out over the plate. Got him in and then got him on the hook.
Yeah, he finished him off nicely with that hammer. Looked like a 12-6 variety. And we've said this many times, Hawk. Don't you think that the 12-6, the one that comes straight down, is a lot harder to hit than the one that slides across?
No comparison. That's why Kershaw, look at Kershaw.
Yes.
Koufax. Those guys that throw those that have a big tilt on them, you can sometimes, even though it's a pretty good pitch, even though it's a pitch going down the way, you can still get to those sometimes.
Yeah.
Very hard to get to that 12-6.
The other night, Carson Fulmer threw a curveball to Dozier that just wiped him out. It was the best pitch he had thrown, and it was a 12-6 variety where all the other breaking balls were kind of sliding over the middle of the plate.
Bill Melton talked about that and hit it right on the head. When you're getting behind 2-0 like that, and you mentioned it as well, and then you got to throw a strike, and you're just trying to, because your control's not there, you're just trying to throw it over the plate. That doesn't work very often. That's one reason for all you youngsters out there. Steve Stone is not here today, sitting in for him in this whole series. This is my former partner of 10 years, the Wimperoo, Tom Paciorek. And for those of you who were young enough to not know who he was a tremendous athlete. Wimpy. In fact, his whole family, his whole family was maybe the most athletic family, or certainly one of them in this country, period. But Wimpy was an All-American football player, University of Houston, defensive back. He was drafted by the Miami Dolphins, I think, even the 6th round. And he played his senior year in football with a fractured leg. He had a tremendous, when I say tremendous, not a Hall of Fame, but a real solid Major League Baseball career. As there's ball 4. But it was his value. That's the first walk issued in this game. His value to a ball club was he was really good in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. He was dangerous. Wimperoo was dangerous. He was not afraid to get a big base hit. And he was great in the clubhouse and a great teammate. So that's a little resume on Tom Paciorek.
Well, we had a lot of great teammates down the road, Hawk, both of us.
Well, that 83 club had as good a chemistry as any club I have ever seen in my career. Because that's the empty short center field. So Omar, they gave him an error on what could have been a base hit his first at bat. Now he's 0 for 2. Yeah, that club was Coos and Bull. Coos, to me, was actually the leader of that ball club. And here's a Wimpy Brew.
We take that one. Did I drive in Kitty? That's a good slide.
Well, I
nice
tell you,
face plant there.
The only guy that may have been a worse slider, for sure me and maybe you, was Ozzie. Ozzie was the worst slider to this day I've ever seen in Major League Baseball. He could play the game. He knew the game. He was a really good player, great manager, but he couldn't slide. Watch out.
Well, the sliding has really gone off the charts now with that head first thing. I just don't like it.
Well, it's idiotic. Going head first into a base. Now we're seeing more and more guys come down with bad thumbs.
Oh, yeah.
It's idiotic. It really is. Good stop by Bobby Wilson. I can see it sometimes at home plate. You know, you can see the catcher moving out or having to go get it or whatever. And maybe it's going to be a close play, so you go past the home plate and then reach back. But overall, try to jump in first base head first is crazy.
Well, your shoulders become vulnerable, your hands.
Everything.
Everything, you know, it's just.
I remember talking to Adam Eaton about it.
I
told him, I said, Adam, I said, you can't jump first. And I said, you just can't do it. And sure enough, he did it one day, and there was that thumb. It went.
What happened to Mike Trout?
Sure. Gets through. Oh, nice play. Nice play by Dozier. And we're into the fifth. Still 1-0 Sox.
White Sox authentic fan of the game, someone who stands with the team through thick and thin and never misses a game. Do you have what it takes? Enter at NBCSportsChicago.com/White Sox AF. And I want to send out a special hello to Herbie Zucker and his dad Steve, and hopefully both of them get real healthy real soon.
And a good friend of yours is watching in out in Omaha. Just texted me along with his two boys, LJ and Nicky. Joe Hyduke.
Oh, great. Nuke?
Joe, former long drive champ. As there is out number 1. So Escobar is retired. He's now 0 for 2. But I remember where were you out? White Eagle? No, not White Eagle. I forget the name of the golf course.
Seven Bridges?
Huh?
Seven Bridges?
No, out further. Anyway, it was Joe, Wimpy, my son Casey, and I playing that day. Boy, you're talking about some bombs coming off that tee, because Wimpy could kill it too.
I don't think so. I was number 4 on that list. I can't hit out of my shadow right now.
Me either. Oh boy.
Yeah, Nuke, he was something, wasn't he? Still those crazy exercises to build up those long drive muscles.
Yeah, Joe's is like another son to me.
Omaha, Nebraska now, huh?
Yeah, doing well. He's working with a company called Rent to Own. Randy Blind out of St. Louis. They have quite a few stores has gone up, and they're doing tremendous. High pop up in the center field. Rosario. And you can bring your family of 4 to a White Sox game for as low as $49. Now, our family 4-pack includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 chips, and 4 sodas. Upper level and lower level packages available, so check out all the available dates at whitesox.com/4packs today. Wimpy, that's even in your price range.
Cheap? Well, it's almost getting there.
Well, Wimpy's mantra, in case a lot of you didn't know, is Lasorda taught us that if you paid for it, it costs too much. That's in the right center field. Adam makes the call. Catches the ball. And that is 15 up, 15 down for James Shields. Awesome. I love it when you're down there when it's about 30 degrees, freezing your behind off.
He does it for the love of the game.
He does. He's the trooper. As here is Anderson lined out hard to center field. I'll tell you who else I was watching. I enjoy watching too was Layla, Bill, and Dave Otto. They have some fun up there.
Ah.
You faced Otto, didn't you?
I did, yeah. He was when he was with Oakland. Big left-hander.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at our high-speed action powered by Xfinity. Last night, Tim Anderson, he clobbered 2 homers after he got that double to right center, got 2 inside fastballs and hit them out of the ballpark. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. Wow.
One out.
Nasty sinker right there.
Gibson, for the most part, has been pretty tough on us. We got him one time real big, I think, if whatever his, Dave also tell me what his ERA against us is, but most of it came in that one big outing.
Well, he's pitching up very effectively. He's pitching ineffectively, and then he's got that curveball.
His ERA against us lifetime 2.26. Yeah, but you're right. You know, pitching in sets up everything. Sandy Koufax, the great Sandy Koufax, for you youngsters out there, maybe for a 7-year period, maybe as good a pitcher as ever played the game of baseball. And says that show me a pitcher that can't pitch inside, and I will show you a loser.
Loser, yes, sir. And Sandy, didn't he win 27 games his last year?
Probably in 28 starts.
Unbelievable. His numbers for, like you said, that 7-year period were not approachable.
Well, you look at athletes. That's not, to me, that's how you judge them. What they did in their time zone. It's not what they did overall, you know, compare for history.
Right.
But in their time zone, were they dominant? Were they good? Were they great? But you take guys like Sandy. That time zone was just, you know, the best. Let's put it that way. And you take another little guy for about a 5-year period. It was Pedro Martinez.
Oh, good Lord, yes.
He was as good as anybody in his time zone.
Yeah.
Now Kershaw is that way. It looks like Kluber is going to be in that category as there's a high sharp. I think he better let that one go. But it bounces foul, takes a hard left-hand turn. But Corey Kluber and then Jake Arrieta had a chance to get in that category.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, that's what we were talking about earlier. You face those guys, and you've got to be understanding of taking an 0 for 4. You don't go into it with the idea, but what you have to do when you're facing a Corey Kluber or Jake Arrieta, you got to sit in that dugout or in that clubhouse, in that locker before the game. How can I be dangerous against this guy, against Kluber? What can I do with that slider? Nothing. What can I do with that curveball unless he hangs it? Nothing. So what does that leave me with? It leaves me with a fastball. So you have got to try to find a way as Adam strikes out. When you're facing a guy of that ilk, you got to try to find a way to try to make him throw you a fastball.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? You do it by, if you're a right-handed hitter, standing right on top of that plate.
And actually, I always thought, too, if you move closer to him,
yeah,
the catcher sees that and says, oh, I can jam this guy. And that is a form of a trap.
And there's 4 letters that I use that in. A sense of control. Somebody's going to have it. Either if you step in that box, either you're going to have it or that pitcher's going to have it. And the only way you can acquire some semblance of a sense of control against a pitcher of that ilk, of that kind, that good, is by controlling where you stand in that box and make him think, like, wow, I've got to tighten that slider up. I got to tighten that curveball up because he's standing right on top of the plate. As you know and I know, some guys cannot stand on top of the plate.
Right.
They just can't.
Right.
It's not in their DNA.
That's true. But through history, I guarantee you the best hitters of all time have been right on that dish.
They're in Cooperstown.
Yeah. You get many more pitches to hit when you're on top of the plate. Of course, you're going to get jammed a lot. But as you said so many times, show me a guy that can't be jammed. I'll show you a lot of bad hitters.
One of my idols, one of my all-time favorites, Al Kaline, told me that. He said, show me a guy that can't be jammed, and I'll show you a bleep hitter.
Yeah.
That's foul back. Leary. 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. That sacrifice bunt coming in the third after Adam Eaton had led it on for the double. He got him over the third, and then Sanchez struck out. And there was a wild pitch, and he scored. And that's been it for the offense in this game. All right, 3 strikeouts for him. That's 7 for the game. And it's still 1-0 good guys.
19th as the White Sox take on the Texas Rangers. First 20,000 fans will receive a Hawk Solo bobblehead presented by Transition. Visit WhiteSox.com to purchase your tickets today. Hawkaroo, that was a great commercial you guys made for that event.
Well, it's Matt Dahl and J.B. Trammell and Brad Boron. Their fault. They made me do it.
I thought it was great. Now, will you be here signing those bobbleheads that night?
No.
Okay. I got to get a few of those.
1-0 Sox here in the top of the 6th inning. No, that night I think I will be in. I've got a lot of traveling to do. That book coming out on May 29th. I think I'll be, that day I should say, I'll be signing books.
Well, bring some bobbleheads with you. You get 2 for 1.
Maybe. I always carry a bobblehead with me. All day and all night.
I hear you.
You get hit in the head as many times as I've been hit in the head. Your head's going to bobble a little bit.
Yeah. I love when you talk about your boxing career.
10 toes up.
10 toes up, and you had all those advertising on your bottom of your shoes.
All right, Adam takes charge as he should. So that one bout I had. That they had the guy that was supposed to be boxing that fighting that night withdrew before the fight, and they brought somebody else in, and I knew the guy, and I was about 188 pounds, and he was about 165. So I'm thinking to myself, Hawkins, we got to take it easy on this kid. Man, we come out first inning, about 10 seconds, 12 seconds gone in the first round. He hit me with a left, and I was 10 toes up.
It's amazing. That boxing is the toughest thing in the world to do.
I used to love to box. In fact,
Really?
I wanted to be a boxer one time. My mom, of course, wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Nah.
That's outside. Just tuning in. 1 run on just 2 hits for us. That 1 run scored on a wild pitch. No runs and no hits for them. Here in the top of the 6th inning in the finale of this 4-game set. Sox took the opener and Minnesota's won the next 2.
Pretty good pitch right there.
Yeah. Well, Chad Whitson's had a good game so far. That one the other night was not too good. As you alluded to during the game. 3-1.
It's the first time he's gone to 3 balls in this game.
And there it goes, the first base runner. Adrianza, and that's the last guy who wanted to walk. Sometimes that's why Ricky Henderson, to me, I played against Mantle, Maris, Mays, McCovey, Muser. Ricky Henderson was the greatest offensive player I ever saw. Because guys just could not throw strikes to him.
Yeah, his strike zone was so small, and then if you threw him something he liked, he could hit it out of the ballpark.
Oh, yeah. He tore more young pitchers up mentally when he got on the base paths. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah. He's the greatest of all time.
Outfield spread out a little bit, about equidistant. Maybe just a itsy bitsy gap out there in right center.
Bobby Wilson's a good man for 2. And Bobby seems to be the guy that when somebody gets hurt, he always fills the role. Like they lost Castro the other night with a knee injury. So he shows up the next day.
pitch out. Next pitch will be number 65. So as you can see, he has been around that zone all day long. And the count 2-2.
Well, that first runner got on base, and James has slowed it down. Now you want to get out of this inning right here and not get Mauer up to the plate. Because he's one of those guys late in the ball game. He will find a way to get a base hit in a big situation.
He goes.
Pulled the string on that one. Nice. It's the curveball. Starts over the middle of the plate and then kind of breaks maybe out of the strike zone. Bobby Wilson right there with a long strike kind of brought his hands forward. He was done.
Well, that pitch is going to get you and me.
Oh, yeah. And here's Mauer. Boy, they sure give him the right field line, don't they? And the straightaway center field.
Well, he's been a very, very, very consistent player. Let me check that. What is he, a 300 lifetime hit?
Oh, yeah. About 308, I believe.
Whipple was right.
Thank you. Direction of his outfield hits. Look at that. Most of them to left. Up the middle and very few pulled. So they're giving him that right field line.
Long set. Ball in the dirt. It's going to be a wild pitch.
That was a good read by the base runner. As soon as that ball hit the dirt, he was gone.
Jose Valentin read, or an Ozzie Guillen.
Yeah.
Jose
yeah, Ozzie was really good at that,
he was terrific. Ozzie was one of the best. He and Jose were two of the best reading that. They were actually in motion before the ball hit the curb.
Yeah, every once in a while you'd get burned on it, but most, not say 90% of the time, they weren't. It was really good. Yeah, Ozzie was tremendous at that.
I tell you, if Ozzie not to be managing is beyond me.
Yeah, shame.
It really is. It's a shame. That's right. He might have been one of the first guys, I don't know, probably maybe the first. His first 2 years of managing to win a world championship. His first year in 04, we were in first place. We lose Mags and we lose Big Frank. Both those guys go down. So you know we're in first place. You're not going to win when those two guys go down. And in 05, of course.
Yeah.
Put it on the board, world championship.
Oh, look at this.
Ate him up. What a nice pitch right there by James. And then we retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth. 1-0. Season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or go on with MLB.TV. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Oh and 1 the count to Yolmer. And there is that base hit.
Go.
And now make it 2.
Fun to watch, isn't he?
He's a player.
Yeah, well, they gave him that right center field gap, and he knew once that ball was hit, he was thinking 2. He was not going to be content with a single. They run it down, but it's too late.
He is a player. Yolmer coming in. Hitting at 295 with a homer and 17 RBIs.
Good start.
Yeah. In the games we won, a lot of those RBIs are huge. So here is Abreu. He's grounded to third, struck out. Last time he just got worked over by Gibson.
Yeah, he threw that.
Those are at bats
fastball.
there, Wimpy. I'm sure later on in your career, as later on in my career, those are at bats where you just roll back to the dugout and you're not irate, but you're not happy. But you can accept it.
Yeah.
Good eye.
Yeah, he was trying to jam him once again. But I'm thinking what we were talking about earlier, the best way to get a guy out of your kitchen is get to be on top of the plate.
Right.
That's really interesting. Not move farther away, because that actually slows down your swing. You always said your mind won't let you get jammed on those pitches.
Well, see, that's a good example right there of an experienced pitcher. I'm not saying that Gibson has this kind of experience, but when guys stood right on top of the plate, they would throw a mediocre fastball inside, not over the plate, just off the plate inside, and let you kill it. But it's foul.
Right.
It's foul.
Well, that's when you got an alligator on it, right?
Oh, short arm. We talked about that a lot. You know?
Oh yeah, love it.
That's in the right field. So Yolmer making a tag. He's going to go because he saw what Grossman was doing. So he's in the third. So Abreu gets the job done.
Now, a lot of guys aren't going to get the third on that, but he realized that he was still running when he caught that ball, so he had to set his speed. By that time, it was way too late to have a chance.
Yeah, that was. Yolmer does not make many mental mistakes.
Oh boy, plus he almost slips. He does slip. All right, runner at third with 1 out. Get that easy RBI, or easier RBI for Nicky.
And while they're out there with a little confab at the mound, parents, register your little one for the White Sox Kids Club during your next trip to Guaranteed Rate Field. Membership is completely free and available to any kids 13 and under. So stop by the Xfinity Kids Zone located in left field to secure a custom Kids Club ID badge. So for more information, visit whitesox.com/Kids Club. So the infield comes in for Nicky. Delmonico has struck out and grounded to first. And here, as we talked about, here's where if you're going to drive that man in, your best thought process is don't turn the head of the bat over. Takes a strike inside.
Yeah, you don't want to hit a ground ball in this situation.
No, this is where short arms really not as prominent or prevalent in a bat as they are here. Here you want a little bit because you don't want to turn the head of the bat over. People are still amazed at how far you can hit it with short arms.
Oh yeah, short arms and no stride either.
I'll tell you what, it's just more bat speed, and you're actually using your upper part a lot more. You're creating more power. Extension is a tough word.
We'll take it.
Extension If you extend, the more you extend, the bigger the swing. The more you short arm it, the shorter the swing. Henry Aaron again.
Oh,
boy, he had some short arms. He knew how to do it.
good changeup.
Yeah. Yeah, when you see a changeup like that, you got to train your mind, so to speak, to try to knock that guy right off the mound.
Yes, absolutely.
Go right back to the middle. As soon as you recognize it's a change.
You always talk about that hang time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good check. Good effort right there by Gibson.
Mm-hmm. He's done a real nice job this afternoon, keeping hitters off balance. Only made a couple mistakes.
Payoff. Good at bat. Ooh. Good at bat. You might say, well, Gibson, he doesn't like to walk. There he made some pretty good pitches and a good job by Mickey to lay off of him.
Yeah, and he sets up a double play possibility to get out of this inning, so the infield will move back. The middle infielders will anyway.
So here's Matt. He struck out his first trip, then walked. Back in the fourth. Now here's where you want to try to use a little short arm swing.
And once again, that fastball sinking just off the plate, and if he hits it, he's going to be fouled, just like he did.
I don't know if you can remember that far back.
Probably
but
not.
I remember you when you hit, and I'll tell you what, you were really good, even if you didn't realize at the time, as using short arms.
No, I kind of do remember that as you keep pointing it out about the theory, and I said, yeah, maybe once in a while.
But you did. That's the reason you didn't strike out much. Runners at the corners, one down, and the 1-1 pitch, big pitch, and a boy.
Interesting stat up there. Matt leads the American League with an average of 4.56 pitches per plate appearance, and last year he never walked, right?
Yeah, he. Put a decent pass on it, but it was a little big. You know, he's still experience-wise in the big leagues, young. I consider him to be a young player still because there's, you know, not that much big league experience. But boy, I'll tell you what, if he ever gets that click, you're going to see something special in that young man. He just muscles that one out in the right field, and that's going to be good enough. So it's the 2-0 game. Good at bat right there. He didn't try to do too much on Peru. Just shoved it.
You're absolutely right, Hawk. That's exactly what he did, especially with 2 strikes. He just did. He kind of just shoved it the opposite way, and of course, with that great strength that he has, he muscles it out there for Yolmer to score. Love it. Great at bat. Boy, those things are so important in a tight game like this, where runs are at a premium.
So J.J. Shearer and George Jacobs picked a click. Yolmer Sanchez doubles and scores.
Interesting. So there's going to be a 4 on that next week. Now that Yolmer, he's a baseball player. You can just see in his face, he just loves to come to the ballpark.
He's one of those guys like Ozzie. He's like Ozzie. I'll tell you why. If he wants to, when he's done with his playing career, Yolmer could be a manager. We always said that about Ozzie. If he's done, if he wants to, he can be a manager. Ozzie was not a good manager. He was a great manager. And the way you measure a manager is not by wins and losses, because he can only play with what the general manager gives him.
Right.
Now, the mark of a general manager is wins and losses. The mark of a manager is how hard do his guys play for him. Do they give him 27 outs a game? And we got two of the best in the business in this city. Joe Madden. Those guys bust their behinds.
They really do, yeah.
And our guys bust their behinds for Ricky. 2 years from now, 2 years from that young man right there, Rick Renteria, is going to be managing a monster.
Yeah, there's a lot of help coming.
Two out, and the 1-2 pitch. Good job by Bobby Wilson. Bottom of the 6th inning, if you're just getting home tuning in. 2 runs on just 3 hits for us, no runs on no hits for them. That's into right field. That's a can of corn. But we pick up 1, and we'll go to the 7th leading 2-0.
Shields today by Arp. Let's see. Ooh. He's done pretty well against James. 316 in his career, 4 homers and 10 runs batted in.
Dozier, Kepler, and Escobar. This is the heart of their order. Dozier has struck out and then hit a rocket right to Yolmer Sanchez at 3rd.
2-0 is dangerous right here. Dozier likes that ball up.
He loves it up. Absolutely loves it. Dozier, one of the more dangerous hitters in the league.
Yeah, he is dangerous. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care who's pitching.
He gets a hot streak. I'll tell you, he is a real tough out.
Better believe it.
Yes, sir. Good one. Love the delivery that James Shield has really adapted to, right, Hawk? That kind of turn his back to the hitter, get some deception. When you're losing velocity and movement, you might as well, you got to do something different. I like it.
Well, when you're getting a guy that's dropping down like that, and he's not getting that ball flattening out on him.
Right.
You know one thing right now. You know he's keeping his fingers on top of the ball, even though he's out here. If you get him off the side of the ball, it's going to flatten out and stay on the bat. Ooh, he got a cookie right there on 3-2 and fouled it back. You know, we were talking earlier about Dave Ross. Those numbers I gave you, 65 and 68% of the teams that score first win. 65 and then 68 when they're at home if they score first. Well, this year so far, the team that scores first wins 68% of the time, and the team at home, if they score first, wins 72% of the
Lordy.
time. So again, do the math. There's the leadoff walk. Just a second base runner if you're just tuning in. And here comes Kepler. He has popped to left and struck out on a good changeup.
Yeah, they're coming to the dangerous part of their lineup with Kepler.
Yeah, this is the heart of their order.
Yeah, Escobar, and then don't forget Rosario.
No, he can light you up in a heartbeat. Outfield, for the most part, straight up, bit of a gap in left center. Sanchez wide at the bag at third. There's a strike. So the count 0-2.
That one right there, I think a pretty good pitch to hit. Down, middle third.
Shift by Omar.
Wow.
Got him on that pitch before, Wimperoo.
Yes, he did. I'll tell you what, Hawk, get 2 strikes on guys. Look at that. Boy, that's a good changeup right there.
You know,
down and away.
You know, woo. People have asked me about what I used to say about like you and me. You could tell me a guy throws 100 miles an hour. It didn't bother me. It didn't bother you. You could tell me he's got a great curveball, and it didn't bother me because if he gets it over, I'm gone anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing for a slider. But you tell me a guy's got a good changeup, now my wheels start turning.
Forget about it. Yeah. Well, it's the second best pitch, you've always said.
No question about it. Second best pitch in baseball. With the best pitch being what?
Fastball.
That's it. A well-located fastball.
Well-located fastball. Yeah, the guy with the changeup, because he can differentialize, if that's a word, 9 to 11 between the fastball and the changeup. He's going to be pretty good. Kuzer taught me that, along with Seaver. Listening to those guys talk. Oh, man.
To this day, a lot of people don't realize what a great pitcher Tom Seaver was. And if you ask the hitters, they'll tell you they'd rather face Seaver than Kuzma.
Yeah.
We used to play the Mets a lot in spring training. We had to face Kuzma, Seaver, Nolan Ryan, and
Gentry,
Matlack.
Yeah. Ooh, good catch.
As he can't get it. And the toughest guy to hit against was Jerry Kuzma.
Yeah. Great teammate, too, as you pointed out earlier. That was a sad day when he left.
That was a terrible day when he left this ball. He was the heart and soul, so to speak.
Yeah,
of that
he
ball.
was.
There is a hanger, a mistake, and a drop, but it's not going to be an error. But they do have runners at the corners with one out. And there's the no-hitter.
And it figures that Escobar, who's having a great series, would be the culprit here.
Well, a lot of guys going to hit this pitch hard.
Yeah. And a nice round of applause for James Shields. Job well done, but he's still got to get 2 more outs here to get out of this inning. And this guy scares me, Rosario.
Rosario is grounded to third, and he's popped up to center.
And this guy does not get cheated.
No, he's dangerous. Guys like Dozier, Rosario, he's dangerous. Now Escobar's put himself in that category.
Oh, I fully agree with that. The more you watch those guys, the more you like them.
Well, they got a guy who managing them who was pretty good hitter.
Oh boy. My goodness. You talk about a short, compact swing and as good a fastball hitter as there was during his era.
Yeah, he and Konerko, you couldn't shoot a 30-30 by those guys. I don't care who you were.
Of course, Molly had all those great hitters hitting behind him in Milwaukee, which helped him get a lot of fastballs. Robin Yount,
Cecil Cooper,
Cecil, Benji, Ogilvy.
And there's a base hit. It was a 2-1 ball game. So that leadoff walk, as a rule, usually will come around and burn you. Switch hitter, Bobby Grossman, will be the next hitter.
Well, Ricky's at the front of the dugout there. I guess he's going to stay with him.
Double-barreled activity. Out of the pen. $17,424 and just a gorgeous day here in the city. Beautiful.
Yeah, you guys haven't had too many good days, have you?
Yeah, it's been terrible.
Worst ever, weather-wise?
I don't know about the worst ever, but it's right there with them. Yeah, with my schedule being what it is, just doing Sunday home games, there have been a lot of days this year I never got out of my pajamas. You know, living down in Granger.
Yeah.
Never get out of my pajamas. It was just too cold, too windy, too rainy. One and one the count to Grossman. Grossman in the past has been harmful to us. He's had some big base hits against our guys.
Well, right now, James needs a ground ball. Add an infielder. Take that. Uh-oh.
It's high and deep.
Good play by Engel there. Well, you can't throw to third base, no chance. So keep that runner at first. How does the ball carries better in the daytime, or last night the ball was just flying out of here?
Yeah, that's what you were saying. I was watching.
Man, carry. I don't know if it's
well, you know, watching the game last night. As here comes Ricky. You know, when I watch the game at home, I don't watch the ball. I watch the hitter, because the hitter will tell you what kind of stuff the pitcher's got tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Those guys, boy, they had some pitches to center cut, and they hit him hard.
Oh yeah.
What a job.
Great job.
What a job.
Great job.
I'm going to give him a little standing O myself.
I will too. Call to the pen. It's about time. Luis Avalon comes on. No record. 3 holds, 3.72 earned run average in 9 2/3 innings. He's punched out 12 during that span, and he's got a pretty tough left-hander in Logan Morrison. There's that power factor. Lefty versus lefty matchup.
Yes, he is. He is another one of these dangerous Minnesota hitters.
Yeah, he got off to one of those brutal starts to a season anybody had in recent history, but starting to come back a little bit.
Well, he hit 38 home runs last year.
Yeah.
Fouls out of the way.
Yeah, you just don't become terrible overnight, you know.
Well, you know, you mentioned
38.
it a while ago, though. You hit it right on the head when you talked about who's hitting behind you. Where are you hitting that lineup?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know. I'll give you a good example. The year I led the major leagues in RBIs at 68. Frank Howard finished second to me by 3. No, 4. If he had been playing with the Red Sox and hitting where I was hitting in that lineup, I drove in 109, which that's the fewest runs ever scored in the Major League history in that year. McCovey drove in 106 to lead the National League, but if Hondo had been hitting where I was hitting it, he may have driven in 150.
He didn't have a whole lot hitting behind him.
Yeah, he did. He had Eddie Brinkman. He had
Brinky. I was just going to mention Brinky boy.
he had Bernie Allen.
Good football player. Quarterback at Purdue.
You know, that's not talked about really enough. Did he have any protection? Did he have anybody hitting behind him?
Wasn't Pumpsy Green on that team too?
Runners in the corners, 2 down, 0-2 the count to Logan. There runner goes. So, stolen base. Yeah, but certainly not to take anything away from Bad Henry. But when you get Eddie Matthews and all those guys, Joe Adcock hitting behind you, you're going to get some pretty good pitches to hit.
Yeah.
Big Frank Howard didn't get anything good to hit.
Well, Barry Bonds had that same issue, even though Jeff Kent was a good hitter. But
you know, I've never met Barry Bonds, and I don't want to. Okay, from what I've heard. But I want to tell you something. A lot of people who played with him, against him, coached him, managed him, I've talked to. Get foul. Nope, that's fair. That's going to score a pair. He got a cookie right there. And he beats it. So it's a 3-2 Minnesota lead. He got a good pitch to hit, and he was able to do some damage.
And keep it fair, too. Boy, he came around that one. I thought it was more inside. And just enough inside that right field line.
Yeah, that was more of a roller.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't biting. The location wasn't really all that bad.
Yeah, but when it's rolling, every spot's bad. Here's Adrianza. But a lot of guys will tell you that played with him, against him, managed him, coached him. They tell you that Barry Bonds might be the greatest player to ever live.
Yeah. Yep. When did he get walked? They intentionally walked him over 100 times one year.
Well, they tell me that a lot of times he'd go up there 4 at-bats, only get 1 pitch to hit the whole game, and he'd hit out of the ballpark.
Yeah, amazing.
He didn't pop it up or ground it out.
Well, that's true. And then when you mention guys hitting behind you, when Maris hit 61 home runs, he wasn't walked intentionally once.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because the Mick was hitting behind him.
That's amazing. And he hit 54.
Yeah.
That's out of play.
And that's why Babe Ruth insisted on hitting third in front of Gehrig.
Oh, it makes a difference.
I was covering the Yankees back then, Hawk. That's why I know that.
They tell me that Lou Gehrig had a lot of Tommy Lasorda in him.
Did he really? I did not know that.
The original Iron Man before Cal Jr. took over. Oh, what a player Cal was. Wow.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, we got to get out of this inning. Yeah, we touched on it. That's, to me, people say, what's the biggest change in all your over 50 years in the big leagues? Biggest change, no question about it, in baseball has been the bullpen. Today, I don't care how good your starters are. I don't care how good your offense is. If the bullpen doesn't get it done, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
High pop up. He just missed it. But they put a crooked number up on that board. 7th inning stretch. We trail it by 1.
Served. We stand ready to serve all military families.
Tonight, catch all the new episodes of Beer Money presented by Coors Light, Chicago's favorite trivia show, where fans are put to the test for a chance to take home cash. Play along tonight at 7 on NBC Sports Chicago. And here's our American Sail Fan Cam. Bring the fun home.
It's a 3-2 Twinkie lead. Maybe I just get this over my iPhone here that Max Scherzer becomes the first pitcher ever with 15 strikeouts while recording 19 outs or less.
Wow.
I'll tell you one thing.
He's good.
He would have had no problems with a home run.
That delivery, there's a lot of deception in that look from that guy. Oh, neat.
That changeup he's got makes the whole arsenal just unbelievable.
Yeah. Makes that fastball look a little bit quicker, too, and it's quick.
6 inches quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Rondon. Rondon, 1 for 2, and a beautiful defensive play. As I mentioned, coming over for the Padres. There's a good way to start it.
Nice hang time on that curveball swing. Well, he waited back nicely. That wasn't all that bad of a pitch. Might not have been biting. It was probably middle of the plate. He wanted it outside corner, but he went down. A little bent knee action right there. A little bit Adrian Beltre. We'll take it.
I love it when you say hang time. I'll tell you what, that is so huge in hitting.
Yeah.
That's why all the guys now have developed, most of them have developed that leg kick. Sadahara, oh, really, it was he and Melott, who was way back when. But they emphasized that they were the poster children for that big leg kick, creating stand music.
Your timing's got to be perfect, though. Ooh. On the leg kick. And
well, if you get back there quick enough, that's the key on creating hang time. If you get back on that back leg quick enough, you got to make it too early rather than too late. Because if you're too late, you got no chance.
Right. Zach Duke, I'll tell you one thing. He's warming up down there in that bullpen. He's looking a couple batters ahead.
Unknown, not known for his base hitting. Most he had in his minor league career was 13. Well, if you could run, how many? What's most bases you ever stole?
I think I had 15 one year in Seattle. If we got on base, we were allowed to run just.
If you got on.
We weren't just. We had to get them early though, because we were usually 4 or 5 runs behind about the 5th. Good take.
And the count 2-0.
All right, Timmy, time to do some damage. He's had 3 great at bats yesterday, back to back, and he lined out to the center fielder his first time up today.
Dave Ross said you had 13.
Oh, okay.
Let's see how it was. There's a looks to second, goes to first, then gets the out.
15, 13.
Well, in your case, they didn't want the big, strong power hitters running like in those days.
Nah. Well, Tim Anderson right there was bunting for a base hit. Unfortunately, didn't get it down that third baseline to utilize his great speed.
So here's Adam. He doubled and scored back in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. That is in the dirt. Nice pick.
Well,
hey, Bobby Wilson. He's had his work cut out for him today.
Yeah. A lot of bounce balls up there. He messed up that first one.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, he's been outstanding.
Well, he is a good catcher. No question about that. Checks it up. Good check.
There's that high fastball again.
Some guys, play their whole careers and cannot lay off of it. It's amazing. I've seen so many hitters that could not make themselves lay off that high fastball. But you get it down a little bit, and they were dangerous.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're going to swing at it, you got to find methods to get to that ball. You're like not dropping your shoulder like you always point out.
Oh yeah, but you said it the last couple of days. The back shoulder's got to stay up.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes down, you go.
Yep. And with that launch angle that's being preached right now, the tendency is to drop that back shoulder in a lot of guys. Trying to get that lift.
There's a strike. And the count 2-2.
Addison Reed joins Duke in the Twins bullpen.
Addison, one of our favorite guys.
Oh yeah,
sweetheart. And he became a really good reliever.
No. Well, that one sure looked outside to me. Can't pull the trigger. I thought it was just outside, but he got the benefit of that call.
Bobby Wilson did too.
Yeah.
So, terrific job by Kyle Gibson. A terrific job by that big 6'6" right-hander. So he'll depart, and we'll be back.
It's the aforementioned Duke. Zach Duke, 1-1 with a 3.97 ERA, 17 strikeouts. He's not really a power guy, 11 in the third innings. So Liuri will turn around and bat right-handed.
Liuri 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Tying run at second. 2 down.
For 20 from the right side, and that pitch is down and in, so it's 2-0. Hitters count. And I would imagine Duke is on to pitch to one hitter. Matt Davidson is on deck. He will face Addison Reed hopefully this inning.
Zach Duke, 34-year-old veteran.
Turned that one over a little bit.
Yeah.
That was ball 3.
Two-one pitch. Yes, it is. There it is. Atta boy. Liuri. Big base hit, and this game is tied at 3. Yes.
Well, 9 RBIs out for Liuri, and 8 of them have come with 2 out. So that was clutch right there. Nice job of hitting, going oppo. Almost found that gap. Could have turned that into a double. Nice job. The pitch is away. He went away. Hands before the barrel of the bat. Ooh, just missed by Dozier. Well, I was wrong once again. Oh, this is Yomer, another switch hitter, so Duke is going to stay in there.
Yelmer 1 for 3, a double and a run scored. What new?
Creeping up to 300, 296 as he stands in there.
Just taking all the way right there and to count nothing at 1.
Yelmer 6 for 29 from the right side of the plate.
Yeah, he's got a little more pop from the left side. You said it yesterday. We were talking. I was watching the game. You were talking to Jason about it. He's a good hitter right-handed, but a little better than good left-handed.
He gets so many more chances to bat left-handed now than.
That's right.
Even if you are right-hand dominant, it just seems like you become a better left-handed hitter.
Good eye. 2-1. Well, Sox with an off day tomorrow, and then Pittsburgh coming in Tuesday and Wednesday. Clint Hurdles. Pirates been playing some strong baseball.
You think Buccos, you know, they backed up the truck and got rid of a lot of good guys, but they're playing well.
And the 2-1 pitch.
Pittsburgh is 18 and 16, 2.5 behind St. Louis.
Yeah, they got off to a better start than that. I love the parity, so to speak, in baseball. Today you've got so many clubs that, well, when you go out there you can get beat. A lot of great young talent coming in. Baseball well positioned going forward. They're about as good a position as they've ever been. As he gets him, but big key hit by Liuri. We'll go to the 8th, tied at 3.
Made Belton Bill Melton a White Sox legend. Belton Bill talks about everything from his home run crown and much more. Visit NBCSportsChicago.com/podcast to subscribe today. You just can't get enough of Belton Bill Melton.
He could hit.
Yes, he could.
He was one of the poster children for being dangerous at the plate. He was dangerous.
You are correct, sir. And let's take a look at the Verizon projected starters for Tuesday versus Pittsburgh.
First pitch by Rondon, knocked down, picked up. He's got time. Yes.
Glad that was Bobby Wilson running.
Yeah, but Beltonville, he could put a charge into it too. He could just some bombs.
Well, he lead the league in home runs at that old Comiskey Park. That's pretty good.
To tell you the truth, I'm surprised. I'm surprised he didn't lead the league more than once in home runs.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Maurer. Even as you say, that old ballpark, you had to get it pretty good.
Oh, you had to kill it. I would barely get to that first row. But Kitty and Bull would be hitting the balls on the roof over there.
The roof.
Unbelievable.
Big man from Gary, Ron Kittle. Rookie year, you youngsters out there, Ron Kittle. Rookie year, hit 35 homers and drove in 100.
Yeah. 1983 made the All-Star team, which was at Comiskey.
Outfield swung well around to the left, as you might suspect, for Maurer.
Got to throw strikes. That next guy is dangerous.
Yeah. And that's his ball 4. So the one out walk. You know, as you take a look at our bullpen, double barrel activity, but they tell me, I didn't see it. And I never saw a tape of it because they didn't have coverage back in those days. But they tell me the longest home run they ever saw hit at the old ballpark was hit by Elston Howard.
Really? I didn't hear that.
Dick Allen hit one in the center field bleachers there. A line drive. As Dozier takes first pitch strike, but they tell me that Elliott hit one. You know where the bleachers ended going out from left field to center field?
Mm-hmm.
Where they ended? He hit one to the right of the bleachers all the way out of the ballpark.
Oh, my Lord. Well, there's another guy that doesn't get a lot of credit for being a heck of a player was Elston Howard, huh?
Yeah, Ellie joined us with the Red Sox. What a great guy. What a great guy. Okay. Can you turn it? Oh, he had a little trouble finding the ears, and Rondon cannot handle it. And that's, you know, Wimpy, this year, if there's been one thing that has really, especially the first month, or not month, but 3 weeks of the season, that really hurt us was defense.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad. I mean, really bad.
Well, the throw was kind of hidden to Rondon. He couldn't really see. The body back was turned. So that's an error 4 here on the second baseman. Got to make sure you get 1.
So Rondon will depart, and we'll be back.
It is Aaron Bummer, the left-hander. 0-1, 5.4 earned run average. He has struck out 11 in 10 innings. He's thrown the ball pretty well, though, in the first couple games of this series, and he's asked to get Kepler, Max Kepler, runner at first and third, and only one out.
Aaron's got a big upside. He's got good stuff, but he's got to get ahead in the count. You know, it's hard to pitch, as you know, Wimpy. It's hard to pitch 1-0, 2-0, 2-1.
Boy. I remember you always said you bring in a left-hander. His value depends a lot on his ability to throw first pitch strike with a breaking ball.
Oh, you face a left-hander like that, you got a problem.
Yeah.
Just off the outside edge. No, Aaron's got a chance to be a good one.
That first fastball, 94.
Plus, he's got the bit of a funky motion.
Mm-hmm. Kepler's in the catbird seat. Oops.
Yeah, when you're 1-0, 2-0, then you got to try to make a real good pitch on 2-0, and it goes 3-0.
He gets the green light on 3-0.
There's a strike. I'll tell you, it's tough. As tough as hitting is today, and I think you're going to start. It's not now, but I think you're going to start seeing a lot more 3-0 offense in the future.
Oh yeah.
There was a mistake. And it's the 4-3 Minnesota lead.
Wow.
I did not expect that. No. He got that play right in front of him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that guy's walks home from third. It's Joe Mauer, not the fastest guy in the world, but he's able to take advantage. But just a little bit of hesitation right there and scores easily, putting the Twins back on top.
Well, it was the leadoff walk last inning that led to that 3-run seventh, and it was a 1-out walk right here who scores. So the base on balls, but it's just a bad play defensively, especially coming from Yeoman.
Well, a couple of bad plays.
Yeah. 1 second. As I said, though, the first 3 weeks of the season, it was hard to watch as far as defense goes. It was just terrible. The 1-1 ate him up inside, and that's not going to be playable. But it will get better.
And that defense is going to make the pitching look better too.
That's the pitcher's best friend.
Yeah.
Defense. Catch the ball.
Right. And they complement each other if it's done right.
Four runs on just 3 hits for the Twins. 3 runs on 5 hits for our guys. High, deep, and caught. Yes! Wow! Nicky times it perfectly, makes the catch. What a play by Delmonico. Mercy.
Great concentration right there by Nicky with the sunglasses on, and he is over the fence, taking away a homer for Escobar. Wow.
And we'll be back. All right, our Chuck, thank you very much. As Addison Reed comes on, Wimperoo.
Addison, former White Sox closer, was victimized by that walk-off homer the other night.
Abreu takes first pitch strike. He's 0 for 3. Soft grounder to third, a strikeout, and a fly ball to right field. Addison, 29-year-old right. He's been around a long time. He's just still 29. Addison, first year with us, first year in the major leagues, his first full year. He had 29 saves back in 2012. 2013 had 40 saves. Then we went to Arizona to get him. Well, they came to get him. He had 32 saves for them. One of the nicest
young man, yeah.
One out.
Not a good bat for Jose right there. Ryan Lamar's in center field, and Kepler is the right fielder.
So here's Nicky. Nicky's making that huge, terrific, athletic timing and leap, bringing the ball back in the ballpark to save a 3-run homer. Some gift runs we have given them as they lead us 4-3.
That was a good pitch to hit right there, down in the zone, pretty much center cut. So now Nicky's got to battle back from a 1-2 situation with 1 out. They're playing him dead straight away.
Oh, Addison appeared, especially a couple of pitches there to Abreu. It looks like he's come up with a pretty good cutter.
Yeah. Abreu did not see the movement on those pitches.
High, pop up, playable. Two down. And a reminder, the Xfinity Kids Zone overlooks left field and is accessible from all levels of guaranteed rate field. Now, the space features batting and pitching cages, base running areas, and skill instruction from White Sox Training Academy coaches. And while you're there, check out the latest Xfinity technology, including the X1 platform. There it was. Matt has struck out, walked, and has a sacrifice fly. That sacrifice fly coming back in the 6th to tie the game at 2, and that was really just a wonderful at bat for him.
Yep, and until he gets 2 strikes on him, I think he's got to think about tying this game up. They're playing real deep in the outfield, trying to take away a double.
Good rip.
Oh, man.
Good. Made a good pass at that one.
Oof.
Upstairs, couldn't get there. And a 1-2-3 inning. Couple strikeouts for Addison Reed, and we'll go to the 9th trailing by 1.
Light hold true moment. And what a ball game James Shield pitched. Boy, it's a shame.
Yes, it is.
Had the perfect game going for 5. Boy, he had great command of his breaking stuff, but that leadoff walk. Well, look at that movement right there. Great changeup too. So hopefully James will continue to progress. And there's, boy, that's some nasty stuff.
It certainly appears that he's back.
Yeah. Here's Nate Jones, 1.46 ERA, trying to hold him right there. Sox mount a charge in the 9th.
And here's Rosario, Eddie. 1 for 3 with an RBI single. 4-3-1 for them. 3-5-1 for us. Nate, when he's throwing strikes, is just, I mean, double tough.
Yeah.
When he falls behind 2-0, it diminishes. When he goes 3-1, it diminishes even more. Out and around it. So the count 1-2. And that's out of play.
I'll tell you, there he is, Rodney. I hope he comes in and pitches like Rodney in the bottom of the ninth and not like Fernando.
Boy, he's got something.
Something.
You better believe that changeup he's got. He can.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking earlier about Santana and that changeup he had with.
Oh yeah.
Minnesota. We knew we had him. We knew every time he was going to throw it, and we still couldn't beat him.
Yeah. Johan
was something.
Yeah, he was good until he had those arm problems when he was with the Mets.
Yep. Well, he was at one time. He was right up there, top of the best in the game.
Yeah.
That ball hit well into center field. Long way to go, and he looks up.
Jeez.
It's a 5-3 game. As we talked about, Rosario's dangerous.
Man, he had 27 homers last year. And that is his 7th. He had 5 RBIs last night, so he's been hot. It's our 4 home run replay. It looked like a slider up. And he didn't miss it. Well, he's got a nice, short, compact swing, too. I think he's going to hit 300.
Oh, he's dangerous. They got a lot of dangerous guys in this lineup. You know, that Brios is pretty good start to a pretty stout staff.
Oh yeah.
If they can get some people to compliment him. 1-1 the count. Brian Lamar.
Oh, that was a biting slider right there. Not many guys going to hit that one.
Well, that 88-mile-an-hour slider he threw to Rosario. A lot of left-hand hitters going to hit that one out.
Yeah.
He gone. 1 out. So here's Logan Morrison. Logan's fly deep to center, gone out to center, and then had a 2-run double off Avilan. That was in the 7th inning. 38 home runs last year.
Oh, little guy just missed it. Now he's got it. That's what happens when you bring your glove to the ballpark. Look at that guy.
Oh, and 2.
That's a great feeling for a kid, isn't it?
You know, that's one of my great thrills in the game. Is, you know, I give a lot of baseballs to kids.
Uh-huh.
To see the look on their face when you hand them a baseball.
Uh-huh. Gave him a diamond or something.
They got the shift on for Logan. Rondon well back on the outfield grass. Take him right here. You don't want to go full. 2-2. It's sharply sucked up. And it's out number 2. Well, Wimpy, you know, you faced a lot of guys, you know, like Nate, good arms, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where if he jumps out on top of the count with you, you're at a distinct disadvantage.
Right, exactly.
If he falls behind 2-0, 3-1, he's at a distinct
no question about
disadvantage.
it. Yeah. Even though he does have that 97, 98 mile an hour fastball.
Yeah, usually when you get a guy like that, it'll tell you the scouting report on his secondary stuff is just not there yet.
There's no lack of velocity right there, but like you said, on that breaking ball, he doesn't get on top of it and it comes flat. And like that was the one that Rosario hit, and Morrison got a hanger just a moment ago to get it hard to the first baseman.
Yeah.
Again. You know, he might be better served developing a changeup.
I think they tried that with him. You know, some guys just never get a feel for a changeup. Steve Stone he said he just never could get that feel for a changeup. He said he had a terrible changeup when he threw it, so he just went away from it. What he started doing then was just changing on his curveball.
Changing on his curveball, exactly.
3-1 to count. This fall, I get a lot of letters every year from dads. And it's starting to be Tom Blunt now because the way demographics are with moms too, writing letters. You know, my son's a pitcher. Should we let him throw breaking balls? And I'll call him most of the time and say, no way. You can pitch in the big leagues if you can spot your fastball and you got a good changeup.
Yep. A lot of wear and tear on your arm with those breaking things.
I went to see my grandson play in Crown Point, and they have a good ball club. It's Crown Point guys. What a facility that is. A wonderful facility. Maybe the best I've ever seen. I don't know how many fields they got, 6 or 7. But they had this, he's the best looking young pitcher I've seen, but they were letting him throw curveballs. And he had a good one. But he's just an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
High, he just missed that one. But the home run by Eddie Rosario will go to the bottom of the 9th, and we got a problem.
Three Twins. And there he is. Coming on the pitch for the Twins to try and nail this thing down is Fernando Rodney. 1-2. 4.22 earned run average, so he hasn't been invincible. 13 hits allowed in 10 2/3. He has 11 strikeouts, but as Hawk pointed out last inning, he's got a devastating changeup, which makes that fastball in the mid-90s look a lot quicker.
I tell people all the time who write me those letters, I said, do not let your son throw breaking stuff, because there will just be a Tommy John waiting to happen.
Yep.
Well-located fastball, which is the best pitch in baseball, and the changeup is the second best. And you can pitch, if you can get those two pitches, you can pitch in the major leagues. So here's Omar. Omar 1 for 3. No, check that. They gave him an error on that. So he was 0 for 3. There's first pitch strike. Yeah, I tell you, Rodney would have had no problems with me with that changeup.
Well, you can't get him in a changeup count, but that's tough to do.
I know, because you know, in his career, he's thrown that thing in any count. That's playable.
Get out.
And one out. Well, what a player he has turned out to be. Wow.
Yeah, he can play defense. You can put him in anywhere, too. He gets in the 4th spot in the lineup. Then you play him at third base. You can play him anywhere in any position on the field. Paul Mahler's really got a luxury there, especially with Sano out right now. They're big third baseman.
Yeah, you throw him in that lineup. If they get any pitching at all, they're not going to be Cleveland, in my opinion. But there's one thing about it: it's 162 games, and you got to play them all.
Oh yeah. And a lot of it has to do with who's injured, who's hurt at what time.
That's exactly right.
And
that's,
pitching.
With this 10-day DL, which I think the owners are going to realize they made a huge mistake in making that.
Really?
These agents are just they're just using that thing unbelievably. Unbelievable.
Oh.
One and 2 the count. So Jose Rondon. He is 2 for 3 today. And he was robbed of a base hit on really a nice play by Dozier. We scored 1 in the 3rd. We scored another in the 6th. They scored 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th. And some of those runs were out and out gifts.
Yeah, I'd say about 3 of them.
That ball hit hard.
No. I'm like you. I thought that had a chance to go out of here.
They caught a little towards the end of the bat, but still hit well.
Yeah.
So that's out number 2. Yeah, that ball did not carry anywhere near as far as I thought it was going to carry. Well, Wimperoo, chance this might be the last time you and I ever do a game together. And I want to tell you, the only way I can say it, buddy, is I love you. I always will.
Thanks, Hawk. I love you too, and I appreciate everything. And thanks to everybody in the organization for bringing me on for this. It's a great honor.
Oh, I think you'll be back doing a lot more games in the future. Because I'll tell you what, fans here still love you. The majority, I get a ton of fan mail, and the majority of them, 70–75%, always mention you. That's foul. And there you go. Eduardo, you can't take anything for granted. You don't want to let the umpire make the play. Go ahead and finish it off.
There you see a check swing down the third baseline. Was fair for a little while. Nope, that was a foul ball.
Yeah.
Well, Hawk, I'm taking a mulligan on this. I'm not sure this is our last game. Let's leave it at that.
You're used to mulligans, I can tell.
A lot of them.
All the time we played golf. That's fouled away. Oh, yes. I just loved our 10 years together and the games we're doing today. And this ball game is over. So Sox in this 4-game set take the first one. And Wimpy, Minnesota, comes back. They get some help from us, and they win the last 3.
Yeah, they did. And they got some real good pitching, too, the last 3 games, and some very, very timely hitting. And they got a lot of guys, as you say, they're dangerous, and they'll be a force in this Central Division.
They can be a spoiler, I'll tell you that. All right. So for my partner, maybe for the last time, Peru, Tom Pachurik, our director, our Hall of Fame director, Jim Ancio, our producer. Nice job, Keon Dolashahi. Our associate producer, always a great job from Dave Ross. Yeah, I love also our technical manager, Mark Harper, our executive producer, Greg Bowman. This is a Hall. So long, everybody. Coming up next is Subaru White Sox Postgame Live, and you've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago.